AFL legend Michael Long.
Away goes Michael Long. 50 metres out. Still going. 30 metres out. Oh, what play!
Retracing the path he took in 2004 to meet then PM John Howard.
He set out to walk all the way from Melbourne to Parliament House in Canberra to get change on the agenda.
In the 19 years since that meeting, the gap between non-Indigenous and Indigenous Australians has not closed. In some areas, it's widened.
This time, Long, the son of two stolen generations, walking for the voice.
A yes vote will give Indigenous people the self-determination that we asked for all those years ago.
The PM joining him on his final leg.
He's walked a long way. On October 14, we are being asked as Australians to walk just a few short steps to establish an advisory committee whose only power is the power of its ideas. If they're good ideas, they'll be accepted. If they're not good ideas, they won't be.
Describing the Voice as an advisory group understates its significance and gives the misleading impression it would be a benign sounding board for ideas.
National Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price on the last sitting day of Parliament before the nation votes, arguing that the Voice will only divide.
That division has now seen the No campaign branded as being base racism, when in fact, what would be racist is segmenting our nation into us and them. We don't need a voice to Canberra. We need accountability.
And inside Parliament, rancorous debate.
The Prime Minister's priority is to pursue a divisive Canberra-based voice proposal while refusing to directly condemn comments that Australians are either racist or stupid.
That says a lot about the character of this opposition.
Order.
It is negative, it's angry, it's hostile, it seeks to divide.
The Prime Minister appealing for calm as Australia weighs up the choice ahead.
We cannot do things the same way and expect different outcomes. Michael Long has come to Parliament today. Now it's up to us to carry his message of love and reconciliation and bringing people together. That's what Michael Long is about.
Prime Minister.
Well, Michael Long hasn't been able to put his feet up just yet. He's kindly trekked an extra few Ks to see us. Michael, you've just walked the 650 Ks after the first time, nearly 20 years ago. Did you ever think you'd have to do it again?
No, not 20 years on, but it echoed what the referendum was about and why we walked 20 years ago. Obviously, with ATSIC being abolished 20 years ago, we asked the Prime Minister back then, John Howard, where was the voice for Aboriginal people? Where was the vision? But most importantly, where was the love? But this year, obviously, when we asked 20 years ago to put Indigenous issues back on the national agenda, we could not support and bring forward the Long Walk 20th anniversary next year behind the referendum, because it really echoed what we were on about 20 years ago. And unfortunately, we had to walk this year, given the issues that we face as a country. And to me, I'm really passionate about closing the gap. And if you really look at the Uluru Statement, it's about love. It's a gift to the Australian people. It's a gift to our nation. And we've got to remember that, people got to remember, this is a referendum. This is not an election. So, and that's why it was too important this year not to support the Yes campaign.
So you, one of the features of the Long Walk has always been that people join you. It becomes, quite a crowd at various points along the way. What were people that you met along the way actually telling you specifically?
Well, I was actually talking to Dean Parkin, who's the CEO for the Yes campaign, and obviously the support along the way in the towns and even the smaller towns and Violet Town really touched me. And obviously there was a lot of noise we heard, but there was more positivity around the voice and why we needed change, and different age groups that joined us. I must say we did go to Glenrowan School, which it was amazing. The kids, obviously about 100 kids, and they were all putting their hands up, wanting to know more and about history and why we're walking. What we heard and felt and saw the love and felt the love is totally different what we're hearing. I know the last 19, 20 days that we walked, we just got a different reaction from the Australian people.
Michael, there are people like you that are encouraging a yes vote, but other Indigenous people are saying either we don't need it or it's not enough and are encouraging a no. What would you say to those people who just kind of want to do the right thing on October 14?
Well, I mean, this is probably 90% of the majority of Aboriginal people who did the Uluru Statement. And the world's not perfect. It's not a perfect place, not even in non-Indigenous politics. But we've got to change the norm and we need to close the gap. We can't be having this conversation another 20 years or doing another walk. I just plead with Australians, you know, this is the last quarter. I believe we're going to win this. So you've got to believe that things are going to get better, you know, because I believe in Pat Dotson. I believe in Linda, what they're trying to achieve here. It's now our turn to do the heavy lifting. I just wish people would, I suppose, vote with their hearts. And that's all we're asking. This is not about hatred. This is not about division. If you really look at the Uluru Statement, it's about love.
Well, Michael, games are won and lost in the third quarter, I believe. But interestingly, in the first quarter, the yes vote bounced out of the polls with a huge number of Australians who were pro the yes vote. But now an increasing number of them are swinging to a no vote. Why do you think that that is?
Well, I believe that... I believe in change. I believe that, you know, people have their right, their opinions, but I believe that we're actually going to make a difference here. I believe that we need to move forward as a country. And I'm optimistic. And yes, there is a lot of noise out there, but we've got to believe there's change. There's goodwill out there, and there's still goodwill. I've seen it, and you can turn the game around in 5 minutes, you know. But all I'm saying, this is the last quarter. We've got 30 days to actually make things happen. And we can win this. We can win this together.
Michael, I know you're an AFL great, a legend, in fact, so I might stick with the football analogies. The final whistle, when it blows on October 15, how do you hope Australians will wake up?
Hopefully one with joy, one of, you know, with pride. I think a lot of people, nations are looking at what's happening here in Australia. But I believe in the Australian public. I believe in change. I've seen it. I've tasted it. I've been through the ugly side of racism. But we're better than that as a nation. We're better than that. And I hope the Australians show their faith. And I know I believe in their faith in Australia. And I've seen it work and happen on field and off field. That we can win this. So it'll be one of rejoice and happiest, but also, you know, with closing the gap, that's really close to my heart, that we need to change this. We need to change the norm.
Michael, thank you very much for your time. We await the result in a month's time, and we might speak to you in the meantime. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.